Hello everyone, this is Zakria again here with you, and in today's video I am going to discuss with you about the process that is needed for applying for the German work visa. Please make sure that this work visa is for those who have a job offer from some employer in Germany. So this is not the job seeker visa, which has a different process. If you are new to my channel and you I would like you to subscribe to my channel because I'll be uploading more relevant content. So if you want to keep yourself updated, do subscribe and hit that subscribe button right now. So like I said before, the most important factor for this visa is like you must have a job offer from one of the companies here in Germany. Could be of course any city. In order to search for the job, there are many search engines, like for example you can use LinkedIn, or there's one called Zing or Glassdoor. I'll be sharing the links to all these kind of websites below in the description, so you can just go through them and then see which job suits you, and maybe you can try applying. And if your skills are suitable for the employer, who knows, maybe they might give you the job offer. Then the next step, like let's suppose you applied for a job and you have received a job offer. The immediate next step that would be is like you apply for the visa appointment, and normally the visa processing time for the work visa is 4 to 5 weeks. So make sure that once you get the job offer, the starting date on the job is a little bit flexible. Like you can discuss about this with the employer depending on the visa, because it takes 4 to 5 weeks, so you can mention some time period according to that, so like the embassy can give you the visa in time. And then some of the requirements, of course, of the visa appointment are photographs. As you all know, you need photographs for sure. 8 or more are good. Like you can, because you never know how many copies they need, how many pictures they need. So the better option is like you should have about 8 photos. And the size requirements, as per mentioned on the embassy website, at the moment the size is 35 millimeters by 45 millimeters, but the better option would be like you should visit your country's German embassy website, and over there under the photo requirements you can see what are the dimensions for the photographs. Then you need to have the following educational documents: originals, and the degrees and the transcripts. All of these are definitely, you must have your O levels or matric degrees, the intermediate, FSC or A levels, and then depends if you've done bachelor's, then the bachelor's, and then if the master's applies to you, or the PhD, like whatever is your latest degree, and the transcript. All of these documents must be available with you in their original form, both the degrees and the transcripts. And you need to get them attested by the Higher Education Council of your country. And the best option is like when you apply for the attestation, you can simply take one set of the original of the degrees and the transcripts, and then 2 extra copies, and get them all attested, so that you can have one set. Most of the time the embassies, they take 2 sets, so that is why minimum is 2 copies. Unless you are applying somewhere else as well, then you can have more than 2 copies attested. Anabin is actually equivalence for your bachelor and above degrees like master's or PhD. So I will be leaving a link below for the website. One thing you can do is like you can even go to the website and see if your university is recognized and your degree is recognized, and they have a way of recognizing it. They have mentioned it on their website. It is all in German, so I would recommend that you can use maybe a Google Chrome browser and get it translated, and that will make it easy for you to understand what they're saying. Then you have to apply for equivalence certificate for your bachelor, master's, PhD, depending on what are your qualifications and your degrees that you have. And of course I'll leave the link below in the description. And then for this equivalence you need some certain documents for them to process it. So there's a web page, again I will leave the link below, which tells you which documents are needed for this whole process of Anabin. Sometimes if you're like most of the times in work visa case, maybe they might not require your equivalence. Like if you are basically your degrees are in English and you're completing the requirement, but the reason you should do it is because later when you have to apply for blue card, it is also required. So while you're doing this process, you can do it right now. It is much better. And there is also a small checkbox for the blue card option, so you can simply select that one as well. So later on, they know it, like you have already applied for the blue card as well, so they can process that as well. It has a fee that you have to pay, like 200 euros, but in most of the cases your employer must be the one who should pay it, or in case they don't or something, then maybe you can ask them to pay this 200 euros fee for you. And then there are certain forms which need to be filled on the computer or your laptop, and only after like you have filled all of them completely, like every information is complete, then you need to print them out and do the signature by hand on them. And those forms are as mentioned over here: the application form, and there's a security questionnaire, and then there's an applicant declaration. If you don't find any of the forms on the website, you can simply search for them and you will definitely find them on the embassy website. Now there are a few extra things, further things that you need to do. Is like the most important, as usual, is the accommodation. Now you can ask your employer to provide it for you, like some accommodation, arrange it for you, maybe temporarily, and then when you go there you can search for one on your own and move into that one. Second option is difficult. If they do not provide it to you, then in that case you can ask them to just provide you a letter which can simply state like some accommodation has been arranged, because then it makes your visa process very smooth and easy. Without accommodation, then they have doubts about how you're going to go and arrange for your living and all of those things. So get the accommodation and then print out the documentation. Of course you need your resume or CV, get that printed. If you have any past experience letters, get them printed with the HR contacts mentioned, so in case they want to cross-check with them, they can easily email them or call them by phone and verify that you did work with them. And then you get the email of the visa appointment. You can print 3 sets, because one you might need to show at the entrance, and then you have 2 sets of documents which you submit to the embassy, so one for each of those sets. And once you have your visa appointment, I would recommend that you should start searching and book a travel insurance. So like once you have the interview, on the day of your interview, you have your insurance as well with you. The next are some of the general tips, and like for example, do not use staple pins at all. Use paper clips where needed, because sometimes you might arrange the documents in one manner, but then they might want it to be arranged in a different manner, and if you have it all stapled, it would be a big mess. So the best option is, if you feel like you need to make some sets and put the documents together, the better option is just use paper clips, and so you can arrange the documents easily. Like I said before, all the filling of the documents, do it on a computer or your laptop, and only after you are done, then you print them out and then sign them. And the date format to be followed is simple. First comes the day, then the month, and then the year. That's basically the general format. Now in this one I will show you the document checklist. Please make sure that you follow the order that is mentioned over here. So the first one that has to go on top of your set of documents would be the visa application form, and below that would be your application declaration and security questionnaire. All these three documents are available on the German Embassy work visa website. Then you must have your employment contract, which has been definitely given to you by your employer, and then you have to put below that the proof of accommodation, and then come those documents of Anabin. They might be possible, like you apply for Anabin and it takes time for the documents to be sent back to you. So in that case, you normally receive the soft copies of your document equivalents in like 2 weeks. So the better option is like you print out those soft copies in colored form and like put them in the sets and then get them attested if you want. Another important tip is like, do not send your originals with the Anabin for Anabin equivalents. They do return the documents, but it is not worth taking the risk of sending your original documents. So just send the copies. It's acceptable, they accept it. They just need them to be properly attested. All these details are also on the Anabin website, for which I will be leaving the link below, and you can check it as well. Then below the Anabin equivalence documents will come your educational documents, so in the highest order. So like for example, if you have done masters, then you put your master's degree first, and then the transcript for the master's, then you have the bachelor's degree, and then the transcript for bachelor's, and so on. And then below that you'll put the resume or your CV. Below that comes the experience letter, 1, 2, depending on how many companies you've worked before. Then comes the travel or health insurance, followed in by the appointment email, which comes in the end of your document. Then also you need some additional documents, identification documents, which would be your residence card wherever you're staying, or your ID card or CNIC, whatever you call it, plus the copies. So 1 copy for each of the set, plus additional, you can keep some, you never know, maybe they might ask for some extra for some reason, so better to have some extra copies with you. And of course you need to have your passport with the copies, and make sure like you have your passport is not expiring in a few months or something, so you have like enough time travel, like at least make sure you have 1 year passport validity remaining or something, to avoid any complexity issues with those people. So that's it, I guess. I mean, the process is pretty easy, once you have the job offer, of course, that's the crucial part. You have to search for the job, and like I said, I'll be leaving the links, all the links mentioned above, I'll be leaving them below, and you can go through them. And of course, as usual, if you have any questions, you are most welcome to ask them below in the comment section, and I would try to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you very much for your precious time. I really appreciate it. Do like the video, share it, and of course subscribe for more relevant content. And then see you next time. Bye.